After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 504. Today was supposed to be Monday, May 9th, but it's Wednesday, May 11th, 2022 as we are recording. It is episode 504.
Yeah, there were just appointments and stuff that just didn't make it possible to record sooner. And I think we mentioned something about that last week.
Mm-hmm. My name is Marlacia, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. We're glad that you found us, and we hope that you will enjoy what you are about to be part of. If you're new, please feel free to press the little subscribe button and hit the little bell so you get notifications. We're glad that you found us, and if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back with us. And I don't have to say about the shadows because apparently I'm not going according to my predetermined intro.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're glad that you're with us. I have 5 projects. How many do you have? 5. Okay. I guess it really doesn't matter.
I think I've gone first the last couple times, so maybe it's your turn.
Okay. This is what my daughter's head mug looks like. This is what my daughter's head looks like mug. That's an oboe, in case you're wondering. I have in this chocolate mocha tea for the little gray cells. This is an Adagio tea, and it's got honeybush chocolate, and mocha nut mott. And I believe this is caffeinated.
It is. It's a mocha.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Mom, this is how I arrange mine because I don't like the thing in front of my words.
I usually do it that way as well. But I must have just turned it on by mistake.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because I've done that with all of mine because then they can sit properly.
Yeah, you did something when I tagged there. Okay.
Yeah, did you not tape it all the way?
I did, but you must have gotten under it when you turned it. Anyway, so this is this. It's a really good tea. I enjoy it.
So this is one I got as a sample. They have this card trading thing where you can get a sample if you get so many cards. On Adagio, this is Hojica. I'm not really sure because it's not Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Hojita? Who knows?
Well, it's got CH.
Hojica?
That's what I've been saying. Hojica. And it's a green tea. I think I have it in Physician. And this will be my first time having it by itself.
Mm.
It smells very green.
Does it taste grassy?
I would say a little more woodsy. The flavor hasn't settled yet. It has a smoky smell, but not a smoky taste.
That's all it takes, though. It's not too bad with the smoky.
But it has a definite smell where you'd be like, that's green tea.
There's an underlying sweetness on this.
Yeah, it hasn't fully developed yet.
I can't quite determine what that is.
Well, green tea has a natural sweetness to it.
But you know how sometimes you there's definitely, sometimes it's just flavor, right, of something. Yeah. There's something in here. I don't know what that is. It's sweet, and it's not grassy, so maybe it's woodsy.
That's what I think, but it hasn't had a chance to fully
That's really good
yet. So.
That's really good. I might have to try some of that later.
Well, it would make sense that you like this because you enjoy Physician, and this is in Physician, along with the chamomile and the mott.
Yep.
Oh, wait, yeah, there is mott.
I like mott.
So, yes, and I'm using this is what my head looks like mug, also an oboe.
Yeah, and I apologize to anybody that I do the sugar bomb for this, but I still stir it because for some reason it still helps it. To have a little more dissemination of the sugar.
Yeah, I think it's that, and I don't know, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. We are going to go right into. Somebody asked about, are we still accepting things for pregnancy center? We are. It was a while back. We are accepting that. I've got a box or bag going to take to the pregnancy center when I have a fair amount of things to bring there. And this is baby things, infants and what was it? Infants to about a year old or 2 years old or something like that.
At least for the pregnancy center.
For the pregnancy center, yeah. I haven't done anything recently with Evan's home right now because since the pandemic, it's been hard to coordinate that kind of thing. I have to get in touch with our local yarn shop and see if she's still doing that. And then if so, it's very easy for us to get those kind of things to her. It's just have to be a trip out to Winchester or whatever. So, yeah, that's basically
and you might have to visit a yarn shop.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle that. That might be just a hardship to have to go to a yarn shop.
Might be a hardship for Dad.
I think she's still only letting one person at a time. But I guess like if we had gone, or if Daddy and I had gone together, they'd probably let us both in.
Yeah,
because
it's a household kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a small shop. I mean, I think
It's very small.
The shop is probably about my room size.
I felt like my
Twice.
rollator took up like half the room.
Well, because when you walk in, the front room of her yarn shop is probably about as big as my room here, and she's got a big table there for people to sit around, and then there's a smaller room in the middle, and that one's probably about a third of this, and then the room behind is probably about a half of this. So it's
I thought it was only the 2 rooms in the bathroom. There's another room.
There's another room because you've got the room where you have the table, and you have the room where you pay.
Oh, that's right. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that was a different room. The room for paying.
And that's where the little bathroom is that nobody knows about.
Right.
So anyway, so that's it's a small shop, but it's a very friendly proprietor, and she's got a good selection of yarns. So that's our plug for her. She's in Winchester. It's called Knitter's Magic, and the proprietor is Laura Gavis, I think is her last name. Gavis. It's been a while since I've had to use her last name. So okay, so moving on to our alongs. We have a drink here. Okay, we have Autism Awareness going on right now. This is a 3-month Cal-Lao. It started March, all right? April 1st, and it goes through June 30th. So we are now in the second part. We're a third of the way through. Okay, we're starting the second third of the along, and this is just to kind of increase awareness, or be mindful of the fact that there are people who have this spectrum, disorders on this spectrum. We talk about occasionally anecdotal things because my daughter has Asperger's.
Other daughter.
Yeah, not this one. This one has other things. She has Asperger's, which is no longer in the DMV apparently.
Well, it wouldn't be in the DMV anyway.
The DSM.
Yes.
I know what this is. It's just been a while. The DSM. The DSM.
DMV.
The DMV, yes. I wouldn't doubt it. The DSM. She's not in that anymore, just under flat autism, but that doesn't really fit her. She is Asperger's. But we don't do a whole lot of facting right now because it's something we've gone over and over again the last several years. We're just going to kind of enjoy the along with the bright colors, and every once in a while we'll maybe pull out a fact or throw in an anecdote for
Usually anecdotes at this point.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, you're distracting.
Sorry, it's like, when you feel like you get like the littlest thing in there and it keeps scratching you a little bit?
Well, do something so you're not distracting people from me
I'm
talking.
trying.
You're being Steve McQueen.
No, he did it on purpose.
It doesn't matter if it's on purpose or not. Okay. This is what we have for the pertinent information. As I said, the beginning and start date, the start and finish dates are already, April 1st to June 30th. The tag is PHNAA 2022 on Instagram. And we have a co-host, as we always do. That's Laura Concert, who is Crocheting Hoovian. She's been doing this with us forever, okay? And so she is our co-host. We're always glad to have her with us. And if you want to take part in this along in both groups, you have to be a member of both groups, okay? The projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted to be eligible for this along, and they must be bright colors. Black, white, brown, somber colors, things like that. If there's too much of those, they will be removed from the autism thread and put somewhere else because they don't fit the parameters. As we said, about 90%, I think it was, of the project, if the project should be bright colored. Laura sometimes is higher than that, but use your judgment. We will take your word for it. And if you say it's bright, we're gonna believe you, because screens tend to be a little bit.
Oh, they differ.
Yeah, they like to differ. So we might not be able to see. So we might say, "Oh, that doesn't look like a bright yellow," but if you say it is, we'll say it is.
And even cameras don't always capture correctly.
Yeah. 1 whip per project per week, and the FO whenever it's finished. Okay. We do have prizes. We have featured patterns and featured yarns. Anything that's mine, whether it be yarn or my pattern, or in the unlikely event that I have more patterns, Talia's patterns and Laura's patterns or yarns. Also, we said for this one, Braid It Bright by George, who's 10 hours or less, and the Teddy Bear weighted lapgan by Modest Creation. She used to be Miss World. Those are all featured patterns and yarns. If you do a featured pattern or a featured yarn in FO, that's 2 chances at a prize for the finished object only. And if you have a featured pattern and a featured yarn together, then that is a 3 chances at a prize for the finished object only, and you're responsible for your own multiple postings. Now, keep in mind that even though these are featured patterns and featured yarns, they do have to meet the criteria of being bright colored. Okay, they have to meet the
main criteria.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, and you can do whatever patterns you want and whatever yarns you want, as long as they fit the criteria. It's just those are the ones that give you the multiple chances at a prize for the FO. I'm not sure what's going on with my voice right now, but anyway.
Maybe you're trying to catch a cold going around.
I hope not. Okay. PHNT and Tails is our year-long one. I really like PHNT. I like all our alongs, actually. This one is a full year, so we've already done 1 quarter, and we are halfway through the second quarter. So this I've said this several times before. The rules are essentially the same, okay? What is different for this one is it has to be related to T and or Tales, okay? And by tales we mean novels and short stories and I'm sorry,
What was that?
my phone. Novels, short stories, graphic novels, written plays, things like that. It has to be print, okay? If you're reading a book digital, that's a print book. It has to be a print book to be digital, doesn't it?
You can have something just released digital.
But that's a book, though.
It's still a book.
It's still a book. So anything that has a beginning, middle, and an end. It could be a children's book. It can be the one I keep mentioning is Mike Mulligan and Mary Ann, or Ping, or something like that. I'm probably dating myself. People probably don't know what that is. Corduroy, that kind of things. Those are all full stories. Velveteen Rabbit, that kind of thing. They're all stories that for children, if they have a beginning, middle, and end, they are a true story.
So just like Beowulf is a narrative poem.
Yes. Yes.
There's another one that, oh heavens, I had to do it in a literature class.
Oh, you're not talking about the one that we got Blarf out of, are you?
No. That's not a full story.
That's a poem.
And that was high school.
Oh, you're talking about college.
I'm talking about college. It was, remember that year I took literature and I think it was a history course in the summer so I could take less credits.
Yeah.
Did Chesterton? Lewis or Chesterton put it together?
Oh, you're talking about the Ballad of...
it's like a knight or a...
It's by Chesterton.
It is Chesterton.
Yes.
What is it?
I can't think of the name of it. The Ballad of the White Horse.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember absolutely nothing about it. Except
I've never read it. I have to read it. So
I know more about Beowulf, which I don't think I've actually read, than about the one I actually read for college.
But in any event, those things are as our fables, Aesop's fables or Grimm's fairy tales or things like that. Those are all full stories.
Yeah.
Okay. So those will all be acceptable as stories. But we're not talking about things like movies, okay?
Yeah.
If you novelize, like if you have the Avengers started out as a movie, the Infinity War. Well, actually, Infinity
No,
War
it didn't
was
start as
a
a
comic.
comic. Although
what's
there
the-
is a novel. No, it's a novelization of the comic.
Yeah, a comic is not necessarily eligible.
it was-
a
that's a
novelization,
graphic
a
novel.
graphic novel is, but not a comic.
Charlie Brown would not be counted, but
Who?
most
Charlie Brown, right. Mhm.
superhero things
are.
are. At least the more modern day. Actually, even some of the older ones. You think about Death in the Family.
Well, I'm talking more about things like that have been. I was trying to get one that was not a book. So a prime example is Star Wars. Star Wars turned out was a movie first and then a book. That's
Ton of books.
Ton of books. Yeah, those are definitely accepted. So that's your very long-winded parameters for that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or read the.
Star Trek has a ton of books.
Yes, it does, and that was a TV show
series.
first. If you have any questions, there are answers in the thread. You keep interrupting me.
Sorry.
You can ask one of us, or you can ask somebody in the thread if you don't see what the answer. It's better to put it in the thread because if we don't get to you, Rena will.
Yeah.
Okay? Because she's very knowledgeable and she's been with us for a long time. And she's
Amazing.
She's amazing. All of our moderators are amazing, but Rena is the one who's kind of spearheading the moderators over there. So,
What I was going to say is something that's a bit unusual, although I think more there's more out there than I realize. Halo has novels. You might actually enjoy those.
I probably would.
Yeah, I might have to forward you a link to one, at least the first one, because I read the first one. It has almost Ender's Game vibes.
Oh, really?
The very first one.
Okay.
I mean, you think about the concept. At the beginning, you have all these super soldiers.
That was a good movie, too.
Ender's Game? Yeah. I was going to say, Halo doesn't have a movie yet.
No, not yet. They keep saying they're going to do it. But anyway, let me get through this.
Okay.
All right, our featured patterns and yarns. Okay. And I've said this multiple times, but for those of you who are new or who don't remember, all of our longs have a core of featured patterns and featured yarns. Anything that's mine, anything that's Talia's, and anything that's Laura's are always featured, whether it's the pattern or the yarn. It just has to fit the parameters of the along. For this along, we also add on KF Jones, who is Bakery Bears. She's what's her Bryony Bear is her name, but her patterns are KF Jones, and she has many things that are tea and tail related, mostly tails, I think. And then there's Mom Cook, who's mostly tea, I believe, and then Joanna Johnson, who's mostly tails. Okay, and we've got a mixture of loom knit and knit for that. I don't think there's any crochet in there, except for Laura's stuff if you want to use her stuff. Okay.
And I really enjoy seeing people put down, well, this is how I justify.
Right, that's
this.
really cool. It is. And
I think that's part of why this along is so popular. People can
do that.
Can play with that.
And I've got Taya's toys. I mean,
Yeah.
Taya's toys are definitely, some of them are tea and tails. And
Some of them
like crochet.
Yeah, and they are. Some of them are quite subtle with just be a name.
Or it could just be the fact that it's like tortoise versus hare, which is the fable.
Yes. Doesn't this? This matures very nicely.
It does, but it's funny because I was expecting to drink my own tea. And so I was like, wait a minute, that's not my tea. I still can't quite identify
It's almost
that.
like a sweet grass, but not a very grassy grass.
No, it's something different because I would have taken a lot smaller sip of it if I no, not because I don't like it, but because I wouldn't want to to drink all your tea. So I was like, I just picked it up because look at the mugs.
Yes.
The only difference is what it says.
Yes. There you go, Mom.
It's only what it says. So I didn't even look at it. I just picked it up because I saw her put it down and didn't register. And so that's good though.
Yeah. It matures quite nicely. I might have to, because I only have the sample.
Yeah. I think that I didn't put enough tea in this one. I mean, it's still good. It always is.
Well, sometimes also, you almost have to be in a mood for chocolate.
But I almost always like this tea. It's just kind of one of my staples.
I've had days where tea I really like will just not taste right.
I had one day with that. Remember,
anything you had you just didn't like.
I didn't like it. It didn't matter what I had. It was a variety of things and nothing worked.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to this along, I gave you all the featured yarns and patterns. They just have to fit the parameters of the along, and just if it's just the whip, if it's the finished object just with one thing, either the pattern or the yarn, it's 2 chances at a prize. And if it's a finished object with pattern and a yarn that's featured, then that's 3 chances. And we will pull for this prize for the second quarter at the end of June. Right? Let me see, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, at the end of June. Okay? And after that very long and convoluted introduction,
I do want to mention, for people who are not active in PHN Home and who might not have noticed, we have added a bunch of our back episodes. They are in playlists marked by year. We also have some that Dad discovered that he had backed up for me that didn't make it to YouTube because they were on Blip or whatever.
Right.
So as soon as he gives those to me, I will add those in circulation too. Because we are missing right now in our catalog the first episode where Mom joins me.
but Daddy has it.
But Dad has it, as well as the first episode where we change our name. But Dad has that one as well. So we're missing a couple.
I think we're missing 2 and 3 or something like that. Or was it 2
I have 3. We're missing 2.
missing 2.
So there are quite some that are missing, particularly some really important ones. But we have them. I just haven't received them back yet in order to add them to the catalog. But we will basically have all of them when we're done. So people who like watching back ones.
We do have a couple people who are having a field day going through them, which makes us happy.
Yes. So we won't necessarily know what you're talking about when you comment.
You might say, when you said this is what I thought, because that's a long time. 10 years. 10 years is a long time
especially
ago.
if you're commenting on something from the first year. We're not going to remember. We'll love that you like it, but we'll be like, I have no idea what I was saying back then.
I hear Davina in the background, so you might hear some noise.
She's probably... No, it's too early for her to be called by Dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was just something I wanted to let people know who might not have noticed, either because they haven't been on YouTube or whatever. So until all of them are up for a little while, you'll see the most recent episode be whatever the last episode was that was loaded, obviously. But it might not be the most recent episode recorded. If you want to see the most recent episode recorded, you might have to go to the 2022 playlist, at least until I have uploaded all the podcasts.
And people have gone through. But you also, if you go to the playlist, it's not going to be the top of the playlist. You have to scroll down, because the first few times I tried to look at our current podcast to see who was commenting, it kept going to January, because it has on the top, the one that comes up is the first one in January. So you go to the sidebar on the right as you look at it, and just scroll down till you hit the last one.
I'm not sure if you can flip it.
I'm sorry?
I don't know if you can flip the order it's in.
I don't think so.
I don't know, because I have a different view than everybody else.
I don't know. But anyway, okay. Let's get started here.
So, yeah.
Okay. Going into projects and stuff. In my... Oh, I'm glad it's this one first, because this one keeps falling down and hitting everything. This is my Ploverbird pink and purple teacups bag, and this is my comfy cozy shawl from the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. And I thought I was going to finish this one. Actually, I was making good progress. I was making good progress on it, and then I wasn't.
Yeah, why didn't you bring that with you and work on it?
Because I wanted to work on something else, and also it was too big, too big and bulky to carry in my bag. I mean, I guess I could have just taken the one skein with me like I did with the other one, but I think I wanted to make some more progress on the other one because somebody's waiting for it.
Well, she doesn't mind.
Yeah, but I do. Okay.
I'm a horrible person. Like, it'll arrive when I'm good and ready.
It'll be finished when it's finished.
Exactly.
Okay. Let me see if I can show you this. Okay, everybody, my hook is on the table.
At the moment.
Okay, my hook is on the table. Okay. Those of you who've been with me will understand, us for a while know what that means. I can never find my hook. Ever.
Well, it usually happens. I think you hit it with your project when you hold it up.
Right. So you can see Can they see the bottom? I can't see through
Yeah,
this.
they can see the bottom.
So it's getting quite large. I have to see how big this particular ball of yarn is. I might have a couple of them. I'm just not sure yet what I'm doing with it. I had an idea, and based on what I'm seeing on the other one, I still am on the fence about whether or not I'm going to use this one. I don't think I am, because I think it'll ruin the continuity.
It
even though
will
it's
ruin
really
the
pretty.
continuity. It doesn't have the same feel.
Yeah. This is more of a summer meadow or something, or a spring meadow.
Yours one reminds me of moss.
Yeah, or the deep woods or something.
Yeah,
so
that just doesn't work with it.
so yeah, so it's really close to being done. I don't want to put it on because I'm a little warm, but it's quite large, and I just want it to be a little bit larger before I finish it, because I want it to be something I can wrap up in when I, just want to be a little warm, or if I need a hug,
Yeah.
Not that I don't have enough people to give me hugs, but every once in a while you just want
A shawl hook.
a shawl hug. So, and most of this yarn is Miss Babs. There's the Malabrigo in here as well, which is a yarn I tend to like for whatever reason.
Does there need to be a reason?
No, not really. This is a DK weight shawl. I'm using an eye hook with this DK weight, so it's a little bit
Airy.
airier. I mean, it's not hugely airy, but it has some drape. I don't like it being so stiff that it feels like it's bulletproof and it won't drape. So this is a nice drape to it. So I think even you wouldn't mind this one. It's just,
Well, it's the same.
Yeah, because I think I did the same for
Yeah.
yours. Yeah.
I remember we talked about that.
Your turn.
Yes, I'm pulling up my show notes to see which one. I thought it was this one. Okay.
I was going to say, where's my hook? I've got it in my hand. Like you're going around the house with your glasses on top of your head.
Yeah. I've done that so many times where I've been like, where is this thing? And I'm holding it.
Yeah, I've done that.
I'm even waving the thing around.
Davina, I had two things happen to me recently. Davina said to me, and I knew it, but it was funny. She's like, Mom, don't go out with your apron on. I was going to church or something. And then we were going for a walk, and my husband looked at me. He said, you are going to take your slippers off. I had a sneaker on and a slipper on. Yeah.
To be fair, your slippers do look like they feel like shoes.
They do feel like shoes, but you would think, I mean, my shoe is in such bad shape, you would think I would notice. Plus, I have the insert in my slippers, but I just didn't notice it. Must have been distracted by something.
So, in my Knit for Brains Teapots bag that Laura gave me, love it immensely. This is Laura's hood. The pattern is Thorin's Hooded Cowl. And it's a free pattern. You just look it up. You can find the site by going through Ravelry, but you can also just Google it. And it's, of course, a Hobbit reference.
Hobbitses.
This is growing nicely.
It's very pretty.
I think I am 6 rows before having to worry about the hood. So, it is actually grown.
I think yours is bigger than mine.
Well, I mean, besides the fact that I think I've gotten a little more work done on it, it's just a bigger yarn.
That's true. I gave you that. That's an Aran weight yarn, I think. It says, I think we thought it was maybe worsted, but I think that's pretty much an Aran, I think. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. It's a Worcester Aran, one of the two.
Yeah.
But regardless, it is heavier than the yarns I've been using, which has been a light worsted DK. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. So that's it for me.
Okay, let me put this back here. I don't care if I just get a little bit done during the podcast. I want to have something to show you guys next week. Davina's birthday is this weekend, so
Yes, and you and I need to sit down and wrap
yeah.
things.
As soon as she goes outside with my daddy.
Yeah.
I have been busy. That's one of the reasons, and I'll tell you more about that during life stuff about why I was busy this week. Because Little Miss thing over there. Okay. What?
Oh, her, not me.
Yeah, I don't call you Little Miss thing.
I was going to say, I was like, wrong person.
in my Knit for Brains Owl Teapots bag. This was also given to me by Laura Concert. It's a Knit for Brains bag, as I said. It's a drawstring, though. I like this bag so much. This is my Thorns Hooded Cowl. And I did a little bit on it.
Now, yours does, by the time it ends, I think it has more rows.
Oh, does it?
Than this one does.
I wonder how that one would look in a natural with this pattern.
I'm sure it'd be nice.
It'd be pretty because it has that kind of.
I call it an accordion look.
Well, if I can, the way I see it in that kind of my Bare Necessities colorway is that it kind of reminds me of those Aran sweaters.
Right.
And so it would be really pretty, I think.
Now, I think it could potentially be very boring after a while.
Right. Well, you just. I've never had a problem with that in terms of knitting. Crocheting I sometimes do because I know I can do a lot more stuff. I'm just happy with knitting that I'm able to knit.
Right. And for you, that might be something quite enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. But it might be a while before I start another one anyway.
I think it'd be pretty in your blue jeans.
Forever blue jeans?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a while. I should put that back in the shop.
And then it would match the shawl that I made that you now own.
That I now own, yeah. I need to, when we get to shop news, I need to ask people if they have any colors they want to see in the shop. I have to remind me to do that. Let me see.
And you need to create a color for Dad's next pair of socks.
Yeah. I have a couple ideas for new colorways, too.
Because you could even call it, like, manly or something. Or you could
have
have
socks.
Or you could have your manly collection.
Yeah, yeah.
And then name them after, like, John Wayne.
Oh, that would be cool.
John
Wayne
it would be
tan.
the Duke.
The Duke is tan.
Yeah, so you'd have
tan.
the Duke, you'd have Clint Eastwood.
Oh, Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
Clint Eastwood would be tan and olive or
I think
something.
he's called the man with no name in the Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Or you could just call him the Good, I guess.
Yeah.
So you'd have Clint
Or
Eastwood.
just Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah.
You'd have Clint Eastwood, you have
John
John
Wayne.
Wayne. Oh, Edgar G. Robinson.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
Cagney.
And that would be your manly collection.
There's got to be somebody recent that's manly.
I'm sure we can come up with somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, some people would say Thor. The Rock.
The Rock, yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Yes. Schwarzenegger and Stallone.
Yes.
Even Willis to some extent.
Ooh, Transporter.
Oh, yes. Jason Statham.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. No, that one. You can't tell which of the actors I like.
So, yeah, your manly collection. You might want to write that down.
Yeah, I can't do it right now. Hold on. Manly collection. If I can ever get a chance to sit down and dye yarn, I still have to do our yarn for the kits.
Yeah.
But
you could you'll have time to think up your colors for the manly collection. I mean, you already have John Wayne with the idea of what you want him.
And Eastwood.
Yeah. And because honestly, with Statham, because a lot of times he's driving flashy cars, you can go flashier with him.
Yeah. But I don't want to talk about it anymore on the podcast.
Yes. Come up with your suggestion of manly man.
Manly man. Yeah. Put in the description box or in the podcast or private message me on Etsy or whatever. You can reach me about who you think are manly men. And I know that Patty is John Wayne.
Well, he's already on the list.
No, I know that.
He was the first one.
I know that, but
Numero uno,
yes. In some ways, Clark Gable might fit there. He's different.
He's a different kind of manly man.
Yeah,
but
he's different. But he does have a couple of those roles. You know who I think is, but he's much more subtle, is Henry Fonda. He is a quiet strength.
He's a quiet strength. I wouldn't have called him the traditional manly man, but he could fit in that category. You can have different kinds of manly men.
Well, I think it's harder now because the definition of manly man has changed. But that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Which means I'm gonna have to also do something like divas, screen divas. Oh boy, we will talk about that later.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, this is my orange hooded cowl, and I'm using Miss Babs in the slate colorway. And honestly, if I just work on this, it would get finished. It's very lightweight. Well, not very lightweight, but it's a DK weight. It's lighter. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to give it to Davina because it's gray, or what. She would like it. She wears the other one.
Yeah, she does wear the other ones. I think she hasn't worn it recently, but that's only because...
Well, it's been warm.
Yeah.
It's been warmer. And also, she goes through phases.
She does.
She
chooses, like, sometimes she'll be more in a hat face, sometimes she'll be, I mean, just like any of us.
Yeah, yeah. But she's extremely knit-worthy, so...
Yes, she is.
Well, as long as you do what you want...
She asked for a hood.
Yeah, she did.
Which is why she got one, because I made sure she would actually wear it before I knit it for her.
Right. And this is a free pattern, and it's got like 4 or 5. Is it 4 or 3? No, it's 4, right?
It's got 4. You have
4 options.
The 3 non-lace ones, and then you have the lace one.
And then you've got the 2 hood options.
Yes, the wide hood or the normal hood. I actually surprisingly prefer the normal hood. It blocks light better.
I like the wider hood. Of course, I don't have one of my own yet to wear, but that's what I'm hoping this one will be. I hope I have enough yarn with just one skein. I don't want.
You're not gonna.
I'm not. Okay. I have to break into another one.
Yeah. Now, if you break into the other one, you might as well do the wider hood.
Oh, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, I think you might need to break into the other one just to finish it anyway.
Oh, really?
Because look at this skein is huge, and I'm gonna have to break into another.
But that's also a bigger yarn.
It is bigger yarn.
Yeah, that's.
But I thought you said it's the same amount of yardage.
It is.
So that shouldn't make a difference then.
Oh, I don't know. I think we said it was slightly less because it was hard for us to determine what it was. We had 8 ounces.
I have the ball band.
We had 8 ounces in the skein, and we had to figure it out though because it was 8 ounces was all set.
80, 20, 8 ounces. You're right. It doesn't say.
And I think we figured it was about 560 yards.
Yeah, I think that was our. I think it. Yeah, because you said that because you remember the yardage when we picked it up.
Well, they didn't have the yardage. I had to figure it out.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, because you got. Did you get both of them for 15, or was it the 2?
15 each.
15 each. So that was a good price.
It was a very good price.
Blue Face Leicester Silk Superwash 80/20. So.
Okay, it's your turn.
Yes. Maybe I'll pull up my show notes. Sorry. In my ugly green teacups bag. Teacups are fine. The green is just
Not ugly.
ugly.
Poor thing.
It looks like something that will not be mentioned.
You're making it cry.
Well, it looks like it feels ill.
Well, yeah, if you keep being so mean to it.
It's consistently, like it's always in a constant state of...
You mean it's chronically ill?
No.
Uh-huh.
I mean that its coloring is.
Uh-huh.
So these are the Peridot socks. The pattern is Bavarian Diamond Sock by Judy Sumner. And she has some really nice sport weight sock patterns. Which is great because Mom has some... has a really nice sport weight yarn that has nylon in it. So here is sock number 1.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
This was the pattern that as soon as I have quite a few of her patterns, but this was the one I knew I wanted to do right away. And then the second one. Oops.
Where's my...
What are you looking for? Did you lose your hook again?
No, I'm looking for my... Put it back in the bag. Where's my pattern? I kind of need that. Oh, here it is. Okay.
And then here's the second one. This is going to be a very sock heavy one for me. For whatever reason, it's what I want to work on right now, and it feels like it doesn't require as much focus right now for whatever reason. So
That's pretty.
I'm not very far from being able to finish this sock. And that's the other thing, like socks, if a focus can be a really quick FO, particularly when you're working a heavier weight.
Right. Matches your bag.
Yes, that's why I chose this back.
But the sock color's not ugly.
No, because it's got a prettier shade to it. This has, it's that greeny yellow color but it's not even like a pretty version of that. It looks like dying grass.
Aw. Maybe it's just new grass.
No, it looks like dying grass.
You're mean.
It looks like dried out dying grass.
Mean. Mean person. Mean thing.
But you can't deny that that's what it looks like.
I can and I will.
Well, you're just being stubborn. You feel bad for it, so you don't want to admit that it looks like dying grass.
Does not, in fact. Poor little thing.
Well, you don't want to hear what I actually think it looks like.
No, I really don't.
Dying grass is the nice description.
All right, let me see here.
This one's perfectly lovely grass. Nice, healthy grass.
Not meant to be grass.
Well, it gives me that feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit more depth to it. It's got that darker green in there. And this is Mom's colorway.
That's Master of the Hunt.
Yes. So,
I never put that in the shop.
no, you didn't, because initially it was meant for a kit that never became.
Yeah. That's why I have so much sport weight.
But that's good, because I love your sport weight.
Okay. Let me see here. Make sure I put the pattern in here so I don't go crazy looking for it.
I think I've knit more socks recently in your sport weight.
Yay. Okay. My next one is in my... It's my Country Roads blanket from the Jelly Roll pattern by K.F. Jones. It's in my B-Wing country bag, which I love, as I mentioned many, many times. This bag is so cute. I'm really surprised that I like this bag because it's a taller bag, but it's a great bag. When I was working on this in the waiting room, that's pretty. That's really pretty.
They probably thought it was a scarf.
Probably. So, I'm still the same color, but you can see I made some. I think I was only about half the distance
I think you
when
would.
I started. And I don't know all the colors on here, but this one is Captain America, and this one is it's okay to be different.
Yeah, it is okay.
It is okay to be different. Yeah. So, I have several bright colors, and it's hard for me to keep them all straight.
The only reason I remember is because I knit socks out of that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking maybe 3 more squares, depending on how big they are. And
Remember how long you want it as a blanket,
Yeah.
as an Afghan. I like a long Afghan.
So do I. This is down to my feet there. So,
yeah, you see, that's not very long.
Well, no, but look, this is covering my feet.
Yeah.
And this is right
Remember,
up
you're
against
sitting.
Well, I am, but I'm not going to be standing with
Yeah.
it. So I need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5. I don't think I need to double it, but I might.
No, I don't think you need to double it.
I think 4 or 5 of these, depending on how big
Yeah.
the squares are.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with this, and Davina gets a kick out of picking the next color. You know, she just kind of dips her hand in and does her thing. And this is fun because right now I'm not picking up stitches or anything, so it's just...
Although I think you'll find picking up stitches to be a lot easier than usually.
Well, I think I'll be fine because of the way this is. It's the way Kay has us doing this. This is a K.F. Jones pattern.
Well, Kay explains picking up stitches very well too. If you watch any of her videos on it.
I am dropping a lot of stuff, and I thought about dropping my Patreon to Bakery Bears, and I said I can't. There are too many things I like on them. Even though I'm way behind on their videos, I love their tutorials. I love their things for baking. And when I can, I enjoy watching their program. Mm-hmm. It's just that they're a little bit long even for me. So I watch it sporadically, but I do love them, and I love their podcast. I love they make so many things available, from history to cooking to...
Yeah, they have a lot.
To, knitting, of course, but tutorials and all that. They're just fantastic. I really, really, really enjoy them. And if you don't watch them, you might want to take the time out to look at Bakery Bears.
If you don't watch them, maybe you should.
They have a free version, and then they have the Patrons. So, even the free version is really fantastic. I'm going to take them out. But anyway, the pattern is hers. And I am enjoying it very, very much. She's the one who helped me to learn how to speckle yarn properly. I watched one of her tutorials. So, she's very talented.
Yes. Okay, I don't know why I picked that up. That's not my show notes. There we go. So the next one that also got a fair amount of work on it is in my... Who made this bag? Molly Klein design adorable Dapper Bunnies bag. Actually, they look
Bumble bunnies.
No, you know what they look like to me? They look like they're professor bunnies or something.
Studious bunnies.
They look like professors because they got the bow tie. Some of them have the glasses.
Yes, professor. No, professor.
So they look like they're little
academic bunnies.
Academic bunnies. So they probably have pocket protectors.
Yes, nerd bunnies.
Well, didn't Urkel used to wear a bow tie?
Yes, and a pocket protector and everything.
And he had the suspenders.
Yes, he did. When he was Urkel, not when he was Sven.
Oh, I always forgot about Finn. And then he had big old glasses.
Big old red glasses, I think.
Were they red?
I think they were red. So you have to correct me if that...
Because Urkel was like the nerd before you ever had
Before you had Big Bang, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a quintessential nerd.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to call someone a nerd, you could call them Urkel.
He was cute. And all his nerdiness.
Oh, his voice, though.
Oh, I know. When it wasn't Sven.
Oh,
Quasi-nasal, wasn't it?
it was very nasal.
Yeah.
And they had a laugh that was like, oh my gosh.
And he had high water pants and
That's right, he did.
with the socks that were like red or whatever they were.
And they were like pulled, you could see like the full, because his pants were high water.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes it was like they matched his glasses and his suspensor.
Well, at least he had color sense.
He was cool. I liked him. I don't care what, he was cute.
Because he was a different kind of nerdy than from Carlton, who was his own kind of nerdy.
Oh, he's fun. I love Carlton. Him and his dance. The Carlton dance.
But this is Fetching the Sun. The pattern is the Caradra Socks by Claire Ellen. I'm using Undead Yarn Fingering Sock in the colorway Big Bad Wolf 8 Little Red Riding Hood.
I used that for something. I don't know what it was.
So I have to, after I finish the sock, wash it and see if it, because the cables really suck it in, and even though I got gauge, I'm concerned about fit.
Is it superwash though?
Yeah.
Oh, this should be fine.
But I need to see it, how it washes and all that stuff.
Right.
See if I can get it over my heel.
Right.
Because I could get it over my heel, but it was a little bit of a struggle.
Okay.
But I got gauge, so I think if I wash it...
Oh, put it on the blocker when you wash it. Put it back on the washer when you block it.
Yeah, so because I don't want to start the other sock until I'm sure this will fit. Because
right.
if it doesn't, I want to go up a needle size.
And take this one out?
Yeah, well, I'd have to. There'd be no point in keeping it if it doesn't fit. I hope it does fit, because this would be the third time that I've knit this sock. I think I even got this far in the other one, too.
I wish the color looked better on the screen.
Yeah. There's...
Hopefully you're seeing it like the small screen, not like the big one.
Yeah, there probably are. And it's a kind of pinky red.
Yeah. With some dark kind of, not pops, but, there's some darkness in it. Like, I'm sorry, I can't pull out the word.
Streaks? I don't know.
No, it's not streaks. It's just kind of like highlights or lowlights or something.
Yeah.
There's little bits of darkness in there.
So yeah, this is a nice pattern. I initially had started this one because it was designed in a heavier weight and in a lighter weight. But the yarn I was using for the heavier weight, I knew that from previous socks that Miss Babs gets holes in it if you wear it consistently as socks. So I decided that I was going to rip out the one that was made in Miss Babs, because I wasn't going to put all this work in just to have to keep darning the sock.
You might have to darn mine eventually, because I have...
Yeah, probably.
My Dance All Night or whatever. Or
Dance All Night, yeah.
Dance All Night, yeah.
I mean, eventually, most socks will need some sort of work. I have a very old pair of my Undead Yarn socks that eventually need... But they were put through a lot first. They were years old. Just like I'm pretty sure my Harry Potter Christmas socks are going to pop a hole pretty soon.
Which yarn is that? Was it Dragonfly Fibers?
No. It came in a ball.
A Zuber ball.
It's not actually Super Ball, but it's similar to that.
Okay.
I have another skein of it, and I do plan to knit it up.
Okay.
But I am probably still going to amend the old pair.
Well, sure.
Just because if it's mostly holds up, I don't see the point in throwing it away.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
Especially since it's given good service through the years.
Okay.
It's not like the ones that they gave out within the first year and they're being punished.
Because they can totally help it. Okay, it's my turn? Okay, in my large silver stud USA PHN 10-year Potiversary bag is my Spring Flowers baby blanket. I did a little work on this at the doctor's office yesterday. So I think I did like a couple rows on this. I really like the way it's feeling. The lady in the waiting room really liked this. Oops. So, this is how it's turning out.
It's really pretty.
I like it. I'm trying to, yeah, this is really pretty. I like the colorway. And the yarn was gifted to me by Kara, in our little box of things. And it's a sport weight. And the hook I'm using is probably a little big for a sport weight, but it's giving this a nice airy kind of summer baby blanket kind of thing for those babies who are, they're not winter babies or fall babies, they're spring and summer babies, and they don't need to be overheating.
Right.
So it's very lightweight, but enough that the baby will have a little bit of warmth.
Did you have those kind of baby blankets for Davina since she was a spring baby?
No, not that was made.
I don't mean like it was made, but I mean lightly blanketed.
We had some, yeah. Your grandmother made each of you girls a blanket when you guys were due to be born. And I don't know, I think they're in a box somewhere. I'm not sure where they're at. My mother-in-law is the one with my sister-in-law who taught me how to crochet. And she made blankets for each of the kids, both baby blankets and regular blankets.
Yeah,
she made
I still use the regular one.
Yeah, she made us a wedding blanket, a bed-sized blanket that we still use on our bed for a wedding gift. So, yeah, that's where I kind of got my bug for crocheting and stuff, fiber stuff. So, yeah. I don't know if you can see the colors. It's kind of a little
No, they
subtle.
can see it. You got green and you got a section of green, a little bit of white and green, and these speckles of pink.
And blue.
Oh, I did see the blue. Yeah, blue.
Yep. So that's basically that.
Okay, so next for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention the pattern.
Okay.
It's a Surabel pattern, which is actually a scarf pattern. But again, if you guys have been with us for any length of time, you know that I'm not content to just leave it a scarf. I use the Surabel for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's multi-purpose. I don't know what is in my sock. Okay.
that happens sometimes. I hate that. It's like you feel like something is poking you.
It feels like it's being scratched and I felt in there and there's nothing there.
I've had it where it feels like it's poking you, and you're like, what is poking me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in my little skein in the big wool velveteen rabbit bag, one of the few drawstring bags I haven't destroyed. These are my rainbow socks. The pattern is Vanilla Cream by K.F. Jones. Sock number 1.
We haven't seen that one in a while, have we?
No, I think I showed it last podcast.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you showed.
I think I actually had finished the toe last podcast.
I thought you showed Flame On last time.
I did.
Okay.
I've been working a lot of socks lately.
Okay.
My sweaters are sitting there glaring at me.
From their sightless sweaterness.
Well, the platypus can't glare at me.
Poor little platypus.
Because he...
My poor little pony.
The pony does have eyes, and he can glare at me.
He's probably not glaring at you. He's looking at you very reproachfully.
I think he has a head and part of his body. He's a big toy.
How big is he going to be? It doesn't look like it's as big as this one.
Any of those are huge.
Of course, mine is bigger than yours usually are anyway.
Yes. So. It's just that's a big toy, and there's a lot of shaping with it.
Yeah.
That was right before I decided to simplify again.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know who that is.
Okay, so we are back.
We're back. Sorry about that. My mom called to find out something, and we'll talk about that later.
So first sock has been done. I finished this last time, I think. And this sock will have the green heel and the purple toe. Not quite as far along with this one, mostly because I've been focusing on ones that are a little closer to done and have a bigger yarn. Partially because my feet have been cold, so those are the ones that I want. And then partially because these just work out, the bigger yarn just works out faster. So, yeah.
All right. Let me
This one is fun, though, just because it really is just knit.
And it's fun it's knit, but you don't get bored because you have so many little mini stripes.
Well, that's why I only do this sock if I have a yarn that might obscure a pattern, because then you get the full effect of the yarn with this pattern. I wouldn't use this for plain yarn. I would probably, die of boredom.
Just when I was in the doctor's office, they made us wear the paper masks even though we had a mask of our own. So we had to use theirs, and I couldn't get it to stay on my face, so I finally took one of these, and it was the only way it would stay on tight. I mean, because otherwise there was no point in wearing it. Remember they made us do that at the CAT scan that I had? No, we were able to wear our own mask.
We could wear it over. Because I had to,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
because she said, here, you have to wear this.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I wear this other one over because I have allergy issues and I need the filter.
I wore mine over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I asked her because they wanted us to wear theirs.
Okay. My next one is in my Blue Universal Studios bag. Okay. That's this one here. And this is my virtual hug shawl from the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. And this is for Laura. Look, Laura, I took the notions pouch you gave me the other bag and put my hook in it for here.
That works.
Because
maybe you'll actually know where your hook is.
So I'll know where my hook is. And I did make some progress on this. And this is what I wanted to work on at the doctor's office. Besides, I worked a little bit on the jelly roll and on the baby blanket. But this, you can see this has grown.
Yes, it is.
And I was worried that this color wouldn't work, but it's working just fine. Laura would say, stop worrying about it. Just do it. So, let me show you here. And I've got a variety of different yarns. I've got Miss Babs. I've got...
what's the scrap shells for?
Yeah. This one was from my original local yarn shop before it closed. Before Laura took it over. Laura Gaddis. She actually moved it.
Well, I think the location she has is better.
Yeah, it's close.
It's smaller.
It's smaller, but it's
right near Old Town Winchester.
Right. So you park your car to go to Old Town Winchester, which is a walk plots, and it's right there. If you come back to your car or go out,
yeah, it's right by the parking area.
It's right across from I think it's the Children's Science Museum.
Yeah.
And it's a nice location. It's a small shop, but it's a very nice shop. And I get most of my Malabrigo from her. But yeah, this is...
I get my shepherd's wool from her.
So you can see that it is growing. Purples and greens that Laura likes. Kind of a springy shawl in some ways.
It is.
I'm having fun making it. I love this shawl pattern, and I will probably almost always have at least one on the hook, especially since people seem to like it, which means I'm not always making one for me.
Exactly. I wear mine constantly.
And I was so absolutely thrilled that Crystal, who's chronically crocheting, wore hers to a wedding. So that made me really happy because, that's special.
Yeah.
It did. It made me very happy. So, and then Ty's got a couple. The one I'm making right now, the other one that I showed you, is the first one that I'm keeping for myself, other than the one I gave to you.
I keep meaning to, and maybe we need to put a draw up for it or something, the acrylic one, because I don't really wear the acrylic one. It's not quite as big as the other ones.
And it lays a bit differently.
And it's not my preferred. I think someone could very much enjoy it, but because I've been spoiled with the length of these,
Or a smaller person.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Brittany.
yeah,
Brittany's
exactly.
a little bit, you know.
Yeah, she is. Or someone who doesn't necessarily need or want as big of a shawl, because a lot of times when I wear this, I'm freezing.
Yeah. And this,
So-
the one I made, the first one I made, the blue,
Your
and,
yarn's attacking.
the blue and silver one is quite heavy. It's a worsted weight.
It is, but it's
worsted.
not as large of a shawl.
Right. It's a worsted / Aran,
Yeah.
because it's an acrylic shawl, because that's what I was still making the transition into wool, and so I had a fair amount of acrylic that I was using at that point. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Okay,
That's my last
I
one.
don't want to lose my stitch marker. There you go. Mark off this row. Okay, so my final one is in my Silver Shed USA medium 10-year anniversary bag, potiversary bag. These are the torch socks. The pattern is the Not Just Boring boot sock pattern by Corinne Walcher. And let me go ahead and put this on the blocker. The yarn is Mom's Sport Weight with the nylon, and the colorway is Flame On.
Which is a Fantastic Four reference.
Yep, so there's that one. And then the other one, it was going to be touch and go if I would finish this one and or the Peridot socks in time for this podcast, which means you might see either or both of them finished for the next one. There we go. So I'm quite close.
I'm not sure if I have the recipe for that, because that was when I was doing, not doing as well with my red. That's one of my early colorways.
Yeah, and I do like the way it works up. I don't think you'd ever seen it knit up at that point, so you weren't necessarily sure how you felt about it.
Yeah.
Also, at that point, I was mostly making toys, I think, out of your yarn. If I was making anything out of your yarn. So this would have been a bit dark for a toy. I mean, it could have worked, but I really...
That would make a pretty sweater.
It would make a very pretty sweater. But yes, I think it'll be done by the next podcast, and I'll be able to start the next sock in line for this pattern, which I think it's an Undead Yarn one.
Sorry. My phone is being loud.
Do you have, it set so it buzzes you every time you get an email?
No.
Okay, because that would be super annoying.
I think it's just when I get notifications.
Okay. Because I know at one point, one of our phones would do it every time there was an email. And
Well, I think you fixed that for me, so it wouldn't.
Yeah,
do that.
because that would be insane.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of works in progress.
We don't either of us have FOs.
No FOs.
Graphic novel went off. I'm hoping to
Yeah.
put it. I'm hoping a mom give me the photos so I can put it at the beginning so you can see her graphic novel.
Yeah, I had fun with that. My mother-in-law sent me a belated birthday gift, and I wanted to give her a special card because, fixed income is tough, and I really appreciated her thinking of me, so I made sure I made a card for her. I blame Brittany for my card making forays. All her fault. She can take the hit.
Yes, I was about to say that. So then that leads us on to shop news, which I still have my, sorry, that tried to slide off. My 20% sale, my Etsy shop for rosaries, chaplets, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's our... Excuse me.
Okay, sorry, those are prayer alarms.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do have that sale going in my shop right now for the rosaries and those kind of things.
Right, and I all the kits, all the potiversary kits are out, and that's what I was saying. If you guys have any colorways that you remember me doing that you want me to put in the shop, let me know, and I can see if I can do them. Some of them, especially if they're earlier colorways, I might not be able to do exactly. And if I don't have the recipe, I won't be able to do it all. But if they're really early, but there's no harm in asking me if I can do it, because maybe I can.
Maybe you can.
If you have things that you want to see in the shop or ideas or whatever, I will consider them open-mindedly, and do my best to get them out there if I can. Can't guarantee anything,
Right.
but it might be a jumping off point for some colorways, and so that's. I'm hoping to get some more dyeing done this in the near future here.
It just occurred to me, you need to do Buckaroo Bonsai colorway.
Yeah.
It would not be in the Manly Man,
No.
but all of a sudden it hit me that you need that colorway. It'd be wild and zany like that movie.
Bonsai. I don't know if people know this one, but I'll put it down anyway. Okay. Now, the other thing, I kept hinting, and this is a very small thing, so I hope you're not disappointed. All the kits have gone out, and I received a response from the last person that I sent things out from. I'm not going to wait for Emma, because Emma, I sent her out early on, and she's in England. I don't know when she's going to get it. She may already have it. Emma, if you have it, let me know, please. If you don't have it, look away.
Yes.
Okay? Unless you don't mind being
Spoiled.
Okay? Spoiler type thing. In the kits, you all know that you had what you ordered, and you had a little surprise. And you'll notice that the surprise said to be determined for the colorway name. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to get ideas to help me to think of a name for this colorway. It might not be the name I choose. It might be a springboard. Or it might be the name I choose. And regardless of what I decide to call it, the people who put into this will be put into a pot to get a fingering sock full skein of this yarn. Now, this one has not been reskeined yet.
It makes me think of when we had everyone come up with a name for the podcast.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. Now, I don't know if you're seeing this more blue, but this is purple. Purple with pinks, okay? It is not blue. I wish it was a little bit more.
Yeah, because even the other one looks more
blue.
blue.
Because it's not blue at all. This is like lavender, pink, and purple. Lavendery pink and purple.
And I'm not sure why those
I'm
are
not.
combining.
It's really hard to photograph purple no matter what you do, and this is no way, shape, or form blue. This is purple. Okay, with like pinks that are maybe magenta-y, purpley pink, and purple, like I don't know. There's a couple of shades of purple. Like this is a darker purple here, and this is more of a lavender purple here. So, I'm sorry that it's not. I'm sorry that the picture that the screen is not showing you, but it is. Like that's coming up almost a pinky white. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a pinky purple. Okay. So what I'd like for you guys to be eligible to win this skein is just give me a suggestion. One suggestion. If you have several suggestions, put it all in the same thread. Okay. You can
same post.
The same post, so that you can.
And it's also, is it just PHN group
this
or YouTube as well?
This is going to be both PHN and YouTube, because some of our members who celebrated with us were YouTubers only, and I don't want those people to be left out. If you are YouTubers, how are we going to do this? I don't know how we're going to do this.
Well, we were talking about getting the names together and then assigning them numbers.
But how am I going to have them put their suggestions?
They can do comments.
Right. Okay, but don't do it yet. Don't do it yet, because I want to rescan it and maybe show it to you reskeined. And then when you see that, we'll tell you. We'll tell you when, because I'm only going to leave it up for a week or two.
Yeah.
So
start thinking of your
start
names.
thinking about the names, but don't put any comments in yet. Okay? I will be looking probably both at the PHN home and at YouTube. Okay? Don't send it to my Etsy. Okay? Because it might get lost in the Etsy. I might not see it. Let me see here. Okay. So yeah, this is part of the Potiversary stuff. Okay? This prize yarn. And it is fingering sock. I think it has 462 yards in it. I have to look at it. It does have nylon. Let's see. It is 462 yards, 100 grams. It's 75% fine superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. So, be thinking about a name, and probably next week we'll open up the comments for it, okay, for the winning of the skein.
Anything else, Shaw?
I think that's probably good. Please be a member of the group.
Yeah.
To do this, because
I mean, you can do it on YouTube, but we'd like to see you in the group.
No, I mean, if you haven't been a member of the group, even if you only watched 2 or 3 episodes, please don't just join the group and put in for the yarn, is what I'm saying.
Be someone who actually watches.
Be someone who actually watches, because this is something to celebrate a Podiversary, and we'd love to have people join us.
But you don't want someone who this is their first episode and be like,
well, this one, if they're watching this one and they joined us already,
yeah,
that's fine. But I don't want someone to like start watching and say, oh, I watched this for the first time, you know, when we do the thing. No, they weren't part of it, okay? Yeah. We have people who have been watching us almost from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that we are able to appreciate everybody who has been with us.
Yeah.
Even if it's an episode.
Right.
Okay, but don't just say, oh, I want this, but I have to join to do this. If you have to join to do this, then maybe
don't subscribe just to get
the yarn, okay? And I'm sorry if that bothers people, but I just feel like that's probably the fairest way to do it. And there'll be other ones if you want to join. You know, there are other things, right? You know.
Okay, so now that leads us on to stash enhancements. I'll go first because I have, or we can do things that are similar together.
Okay, well, let's see. Some of my things that are together are Mother's Day. Well, you know what? I can leave the Mother's Day one for later.
Yeah, I was thinking this one.
Well, I have everything in one box, but not the Mother's Day stuff. Mother's Day stuff isn't here, so let me just take this out. Okay. I think these are all. Yeah, none of these are Mother's Day. I don't think. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have your this bag?
What's that? Oh.
You didn't already put it away, did you?
No. Where's my bag at? Might be at the bottom of this bag. Hold on. That might be what's in here. Yeah.
Okay. So I figure we should do this one together.
Okay.
So this is our Maryland sheep and wool.
Yeah. Because we didn't go to Maryland sheep and wool.
Yes. So Miss Babs.
She's the main reason I went to Maryland sheep and wool.
Because Dragonfly, you can go
to Shenandoah.
Shenandoah.
And I always went to her there.
Yeah.
And Marigold Jen, I always went there too when she was there.
But she also would always go.
She was always, yeah. I got this cute little...
Ooh, bookmark. Oh, I always put bookmark.
This is Bodacious Estrelitas fingering weight. I'll probably give this to you. This is a sparkling little sample.
This is Eastern Bluebird, and it's tart fingering weight yarn. That's her one with nylon. And
that's Estrelita. Oh, I got a bookmark too. Okay. With a little
stitch marker. So then,
I love the fact that Miss Babs, I consider her a bigger indie yarn, and she always puts thanks Marlisha and Joy. You know, she comments by name. This is not a machine that's just stamping.
Yeah, no, this is actually
somebody is writing. I can tell it's different people because
oh yeah, the handwriting's different, but if they still try to do a personal touch.
Which I think is really nice.
But no, this is the other scheme. This is the other little sample you gave me. Because I was like, did I get 2 samples?
You guys saw that I'm going to be doing a black and white scrap shawl. So I got one of these.
Yeah, because she didn't have quite as many skeins as she wanted of that colorway.
Yeah, and I had to get it in a different base. It's the same weight, but I had to get it in a different base. This base is...
Killington.
Is it Killington?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's Killington. Polworth, it's 85% Polworth, 15% Tulsa silk, 350 yards. So, yeah, soft.
And the colorway is?
Ansel.
Yeah. And then for me, I've been talking about this for a while. Especially with making progress on my Paradra socks. I finally went and got my fingering weights. This is Tarte. It has nylon in it. And this is my Squash Blossom. I wanted to grab it while I was there because Squash Blossom runs out really quickly. Mm-hmm. And yeah, this is set aside. I have 2 different Claire Ellen patterns set aside. I think I know the one I'm going to do. One's called Golden Hall, the other one's Varda, and I think I'm going with Varda. But I need to look at them a little bit closer to decide for sure.
Right.
But I have a little bit of time because I want to finish Caradros first. Okay. But this is part of my dream to have every single accessory and possible knit thing in this.
Right. Now, do you have anything else, or do you want me to...
The other thing I have matches one of your Mother's Day ones.
Okay, well, no, I have Mother's Day, but I also have other...
No, I don't. I already put away the tea of yours.
Tea of mine? Oh, right. No, I'm talking about the fact that I have things that I ordered that were not Mother's Day teas.
Yeah, I don't have anything else like that. It hasn't come in.
Okay, so what's that then?
Just this. The other
gotcha. Okay, I saw the Adagio box. So
no,
okay.
I just used this box to hold stuff.
All right, let me get that out. This is a Mother's Day gift. We're kind of going out of order a little bit here.
This was a choose your own present.
Yeah, this was her Mother's Day gift. It's really pretty. I love it. This is a Memento Mori Rosary, which for those of you who aren't with us for very long, that means remember your death. And no, it's not gruesome. It just so that we behave properly. Okay, so you can see this. It's what's this?
That is hematite.
Hematite. They're hematite.
Although the Our Father beads are in fact stainless steel.
And they're skulls.
Yeah.
And then you've got this crucifix. Is this the pardon crucifix?
That is the pardon crucifix.
And what's the centerpiece?
The centerpice is...
Looks
I don't
like
think it has an actual name. It's a passion centerpiece. I think it's supposed to be the...
It looks like the Shroud of Turin. Or maybe Veronica's Veil.
I think it's Veronica's Veil.
Yeah, so this is mine. I took the black beads with
The
everything
hematite.
dark, the hematite, because my other Memento Mori was the silver with the black, and I didn't have any black beads for my rosaries, so I wanted this. And it's a really beautiful rosary. This one has to be blessed still.
And then mine is the stainless steel. And it's all the same pieces.
Yeah.
It's the same Our Father beads that are the skulls.
you can
Everything
see-
looks the same. It's just different color.
You can see the difference in the colors. It's a lot darker. Mine's a lot darker than it's showing up on the screen. But is that what you do for the wedding rosaries, both of these?
The wedding rosaries, yes, the male rosary is the hematite, and I use a black cord for that. And then the wife's rosary is stainless steel with a white cord.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And then they have the same centerpiece and the same crucifix and everything like that. It's just a difference between color.
Right. So that's this. I can never get it back in the bag properly because it's a very large rosary, and I'm afraid of breaking it. Not that it breaks easily, but I'm still afraid of breaking it. I'm not going to put that right there. Okay. Now, are you done?
Yes, that is all.
Okay, I've got quite a few things because of Mother's Day, so if you don't want to see this, we'll see you next week. But it is Mother's Day. I don't make a habit of just buying a bunch of stuff.
Usually.
This came in. Do you remember a few weeks ago I got a book to go with the Bible in the Year podcast, and it was volume 2. I said, "Where's my volume 1?" I ordered volume 1. This is volume 2. This is volume 1. Okay, and I think I ordered the 3rd volume pre-order, but it hasn't come up yet. This is by Father Mike Schmitz and Jeff Cavins. And what it is this is the first volume. It goes Bible in a Year, and you read the Bible not just straight through, but you read like a narrative book and then 2 other books or 1 other book that goes with it. And it kind of pulls everything together. I'm listening to this while I'm on the treadmill, but there may be a time when I want to read it, and it's got Father's reflections on here and what he was talking about so that I can get more out of it. So this is book 1. I have book 2 already in the bookshelf, and I'm looking forward to that, to working with this. Let me see. That was not a Mother's Day gift. I think everything else is, however.
Some of this you purchased.
Huh?
Some of this you purchased.
Right. Let me go through the purchase first. The purchases first. I did go to Adagio and picked up a couple things. Somebody had given me a gift, so in order to pick up the gift, you got to buy something.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about the noise. I should have. All right, I'm not going to open this right now. This has that whipped honey in it. It's chocolate honey, and I don't want to be. All right, maybe this will be. Sorry if you have earbuds. There. Yeah.
Did you get the smaller one, or did you get the 12 ounces?
No, I just got the small one because I wasn't done with the other one yet. I want to make sure I like it enough to. I do love it, but I want to make sure.
I have. I'm going to see if I like it for my morning one. The green tea one.
This one doesn't have the name on it.
Did the other one?
Maybe it didn't. I don't know.
It has it on top one.
Oh, okay. So that's the.
Now, if you decide to get the bigger one, you can get a pump to go with it.
A pump?
Yeah, it's underneath the order. It'll say 12 ounce, and underneath that it'll say pump for 12 ounce bottle only.
Cool.
So.
Okay, great. So if I really do like this, and if I had known that option, I might have gotten it with the pump, and because I would put on my bread too. Mm-hmm. This is a very nice, lightly chocolate honey that I like to use with like her healer tea and some of the other teas that have chocolate that sometimes don't come out all the way. Like one of Woody's is really good with it. So that
I have coming in for my breakfast one a green tea honey to see if that'll. Mm-hmm. Also, I won't be using up your normal honey as much.
Right.
Then.
Did you get the big one for that?
No, I got the small one first to make sure I like it. If I do, then I'll go 12 ounce and get the pump.
Right. Now these are 2 of my teas. One is To Have and To Hold, and the other one is Love at First Sight. Now, To Have and To Hold, I changed the artwork, but the little artwork on the bottom one is mine. I was just playing around with something very simple. I don't remember what's in it. I'd have to go look at I didn't put the ingredients on the lid, so I'm not sure what's in it. Mm-hmm. These are also 2 of mine. One is caramel almond amaretto. The other one is lemon amaretto cookies. So those are also, I haven't tasted these yet. That's why I got them, to make sure. To Have and To Hold I have, but not the other ones. So that's those. And then somebody gifted me this one. Honey Banana Nut, which is really good.
Is it Honey Bush?
Honey Bush Banana. What did I say, honey?
You said honey.
Okay. And this is the Adagio Community for June. What it is a sample size, not sample size, a portion size of, let's see, June is 30 days, 30 different teas, and you have a certain tea every day, and you talk about it, take pictures, that kind of stuff for the Adagio group. So, and you get points and all that kind of stuff. Did you
notice the things you pay for with accolades disappeared?
What?
At the bottom, they used to say the mugs, this. I didn't see them last time I was on the site.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really been on to look at it. I
it might be that they're editing that.
I didn't see. I think they're getting ready to put the next thing in.
Okay, so maybe that's why they disappeared. Because I was looking for it to see how many I had till I could get another card.
This is the size of a portion. Now, this is not a tea. This is pink peppercorn, which is something I can add to teas for my blending.
That's their site that's got like spices and
stuff. And things like that, yeah. And then this also came from Selfina. This is the hot chocolate.
Technically, the roses come through Selfina.
Mm-hmm. And because I had 2 orders, I had another one of the hot chocolates.
I think.
And I had.
I remember if my lemongrass comes through Selfina.
And this is the rose petals that I had ordered. Okay, so now. Oh, and this is the one I won. It's called Steve Bear. Now, they told me I won Flash, the fastest man alive, but they sent me Steve Bear. So this has got.
That's adorable.
Mm-hmm. It's got blueberry, vanilla oolong, and cream cream and apples. So this should be interesting.
I'm trying to imagine who would call Steve Bear.
Nobody. And then this is Talia's newest one. It's called Fresh.
Because we noticed that a plain peppermint doesn't tend to be quite as tasty. And we remember the one we used to like called Refresh. It's now only available in tea bags.
Has spearmint in it.
It had spearmint in it. So I just put oh, thank you. Am I holding on to this for both of us?
Yep.
Okay. So it's just, we're trying to imitate that. It's just peppermint and spearmint.
Yeah, Adagio has gotten us into the habit. If we can't find it,
We'll just make it.
we'll make it. Or try to make it.
Yeah.
That's what some of these are. I mean, my chocolate monkey that I showed you a few episodes back, that was my my effort to make chocolate monkey, which is really hard to find for me in this area. This was a Mother's Day gift from Davina. It is the limited edition Adagio teas for Mother's Day. It's the Mother's Day set, and it's got 6 teas. There's Love. And again, I don't know what's in these necessarily. I have to go back and look. Trust, which has got a mom holding a baby. Okay.
I would say if you could, maybe print out the instructions for
Yeah,
them.
I intend to.
Because if that goes away, you might not be able to find it again.
Right, and I tend to. This is Hug. I'm actually surprised they didn't send a little insert with it.
They don't usually.
They don't
You
usually.
should probably do it for Steve Bear, too.
Yeah. This is Admiration, which has a little crown that says Queen. This one is Hero. It looks like Wonder Woman. And then this one is my favorite for obvious reasons. I don't know what it tastes like, but this is Wisdom, and it's got an owl on it. So those, they were a limited edition set. I had it in my cart, and I told my husband about it. He said, look, you're getting the community. He said, you already have a lot of tea. What do you need more tea for? He wouldn't let me get it, but he asked me, and I took it out of the cart because he was right. So Davina picked it up for me. And these are the communities. I don't want to open this, but what it is portions, those little, they're this size of teas. It's one portion. Usually,
Yeah, it's just enough for
like a 10 ounce,
Yeah.
10 to 12 ounce tea.
I mean, you can re-steep it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's only gonna make so much.
Right. And my husband got me this. My husband got me a new computer because my computer was just acting really funny, so he got me a new computer. But he also got me this. And people who know me for a long time know that this is a very important verse for me. Let's see. Oh, I can put this out of my way. Got me this book. He got me several digital books, but he also got me this book, which he is also reading. We're reading it together.
Is that actually marking a place, Mom?
Yes.
Or is the bookmark coming
Yes. No. This is
Oh.
his, and this is mine.
Oh, okay.
So
So what's this hanging back
it's
here?
just attached to it. I haven't taken it off yet.
Oh, okay.
He'll probably take that off. But it's Tolkien. It's his essays on fairy stories, and it's really good. I'm looking forward to reading more of this. What he did is, I wanted to read it, but I wasn't sure I was going to get to it, and I wanted to highlight it. And my husband's like, "Don't highlight it. I want to read it." So I said, "Okay." Well, you read it first. So we put it in the bathroom. Well, you put it in the bathroom, I'm going to read it. So
The way he can make you read it without highlighting it.
yeah, so I've got my bookmark. He doesn't know I have a bookmark in here yet because I just put it in. So he's going to see that when he gets home. And we're going to read it. This is how he got me started reading Kurt Vonnegut. He put a Kurt Vonnegut book in there. He was reading it, and I just picked it up and started reading it. And then we would discuss it. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that.
Yeah, this is the first Tolkien book Dad's ever read.
Yeah, I'm really excited that he was even remotely interested in it.
And sounds like, speaking of Dad, Davina sounds like she might be talking to him.
Yeah, is that everything? I think that's everything.
Yeah, then I think we go on to personal.
Yeah, let me see.
Because your gifts are mostly like the big ticket item.
Yeah, he was sad. He said he didn't have anything to get me. We were 2 or 3 days before Mother's Day. He's like, you don't have anything on a list. You don't have anything you want. I said, what do you want? I said, I don't know. He said, do you want a tablet or do you want a computer? Because I need both of them, a Kindle and a computer. And I said, I don't know. And then, so we discussed it, and he said, look, I found a computer for you. That's what you're getting. Okay.
Which is great, because the computer's going to move to the other desk that she has. So when we're talking during tea time, she won't have the computer right in her face.
Right, which is really hard. It's distracting for me.
Right, and I can't always see her face very well if she's looking over things. So I think it's going to be better.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Now with thank yous and personal.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear personal, health, whatever...
It usually ends up health because we're old.
Old and decrepit. Older than dirt and decrepit. If you don't want to stay, we understand. If you are a Patreon and you're leaving, we have a live stream coming up on Friday, right?
Is this second Friday?
This Friday, the first... What's today? Yeah, I think...
No.
We didn't have... First Friday you had last week because that was when Father came for confession.
Was it?
The first?
Was it?
Well,
yes. Yes, it was.
It was. So we have a live stream today.
Not today.
Friday, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right, because, wow, that kind of snuck up. I don't know why I thought we were, for some reason I thought we were later in the month than we were. Let's see. I'm just going to verify. You're probably right.
I think I'm right.
Okay, so, I was looking at Sunday, and that's why I got confused. So, confession. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I got confused because next week, we're going into the third Sunday, but it's only second Friday. Okay.
So, for those of you who are patrons who want to leave, don't forget about the live stream on Friday. And for all the rest of you who maybe don't want to hear about the live stuff, we're glad that you came and visited with us. We hope to see you again next week for the Foon in the Woman Cave. We want to say our thank yous to Looney Hiker, Wendy, who is MacGyver, Chronically Crocheting, Brittany, and Meditative Crafter, who left messages on YouTube. I didn't see anybody in the episodes. I saw Renna in there, but she was doing the older episodes. So we thank Renna, too.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments. We're glad to have you with us. And we'll see you next week.
Yes.
God bless.
God bless.
Okay, now
that people have moved on.
Moved on.
We've both had appointments. So I saw both my migraine doctor and I saw the migraine doctor via Zoom. My neurosurgeon was initially was supposed to be in the afternoon. Then they moved him to the morning, right before the migraine doctor. Then he wasn't actually able to make it because he had to do a craniotomy. So then he ended up being in the afternoon anyway. Just randomly called me up. I had no idea who was going to call because they were supposed to call me, give me an idea. So he called me up. But first of all, for the migraine doctor, I think he feels that the monthly injection isn't giving enough.
which he? You didn't say which he.
Oh, I'm sorry. The migraine doctor feels that the monthly migraine injection is only having marginal success with light sensitivity and the overstimulation. So he says if in another 3 months, because it's supposed to take about a year before you really start seeing effects, another 3 months it would be our year. If
Really?
we're not,
That long?
I counted up 9 needles.
Okay.
So, because we still have to get rid of the sharps.
Oh, right.
Maybe when we go for testing, we can take that with us and dispose of that. Next time I'm going to get a big sharps so that we can go longer. But yeah, so in 3 months, if we're still not seeing the effect we want, we'll go to IV migraine medication, which would be every 3 months, and I have to go to an infusion center, which that might require travel every 3 months. But yeah, because the fact that every time he sees me I have to be in dim light and all that, he's like, yeah, this is obviously not as effective as we want this to be.
Right.
So that's what's going on there. And then the neurosurgeon, I was expecting to hear about my labs, and he actually forgot to grab those. But it ended up being a conversation I didn't really expect, because he's like, how are things doing? And I just filled in some symptoms that have been particularly troublesome. I've been having increased trouble walking. It's not, sometimes it's just swerving, like walking in a zigzag. That's mostly my normal. But it can be quite severe where, yeah, I can have a really hard time getting from one room to the next. And so he ran through the symptoms, and now I'm going to be tested for something called Tethered cord syndrome, which the only option for that is surgery to release the spinal cord from where it's got stuck, just along. Think of a cavity, and there's the wall there. It's kind of stuck to the wall somewhere. If it is indeed spinal cord, if it's indeed tethered cord syndrome, which can happen with people with Ehlers-Danlos. It can also explain why I have back of the head pain as well, because spinal cord's all connected, without having worsening instability. So, thought I escaped the potential of neurosurgery. We're now looking at that potential again this year. So I have to get an MRI and some other testing done to determine whether or not neurosurgery will be a thing this year.
Right. Yay.
Okay.
Woo. For me, went to the doctor yesterday.
Yeah, because we had back-to-back appointments. Mine was Monday and hers was Tuesday.
Yeah, went to the doctor yesterday and talked to me and asked questions and said, well, doesn't really sound like fibromyalgia. You have aspects, that's the word I was trying to find,
Mm-hmm.
aspects of fibromyalgia, but not necessarily fibromyalgia. He said, what's the thing called?
It was spondyloarthritis, and then the subset of that, which is psoriatic arthritis.
Which oddly enough has something to do with the skin and psoriasis and things like that.
Immune system.
It's an
Autoimmune.
system thing.
It resembles RA in a lot of its symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have the RA.
Yeah, it's not degenerative. It just can be painful. And right now he says I'm managing okay on my own. He wants to see, I'm having an x-ray done of the hip area, the sciatic.
Yeah. Sciatic nerve.
Sciatic area. I guess it is to check that out.
Yeah, because you can get, like sciatica.
Yeah.
The pain that people have.
But because I told him I'd had an accident, which he said, well, injuries is where that kind of stuff usually starts. So, he asked me questions that, made me think, yeah, he might, because it seemed like he came to a conclusion very quickly, just in a space of like a 20-30 minute conversation. But the questions he asked seemed to show that he had a definite idea of what it was he was looking for, and that I had that kind of stuff. He looked at my hands and at my feet and, talked about, do you have this, that, and the other thing? I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of that stuff. So he says not very common, because we don't do things that are common in this house.
And it's actually more common in males.
Mm-hmm. And weather related, so all this stuff about weather that people were kind of laughing at me about.
Well, not anyone that you talked about who was actually chronically ill, but...
No, but, people were like, yeah, that doesn't really happen. It does, especially with things like this. So he talked about how it works with the barometric pressure and how it releases when, everything releases and all that kind of stuff.
Dad actually believes this now, though.
Yeah, well, he started having some issues.
Because we'll say, yeah, something's going to happen, and we're more correct than the weatherman.
Mm-hmm. So we don't necessarily know what it's going to be. It might be rain, it might be wind, it might be snow.
We just know it's something.
Something's happening. But he wasn't sure about the jaw. He said that's joint, so that's something that could be a potential. But I'm going to the dentist, as I said earlier, that to get the night guard to see if that helps. If that doesn't help a whole lot, then I might have to go and ask him for this medicine that he was talking about that's supposed to help with things.
It'd be nice to not have your nails keep breaking.
Yeah, because he was saying some people see pretty dramatic change in their nails, or at least somewhat obvious, because my nails keep chipping, and it's odd because it's at the same time they're very like pliable, like it's hard to cut them with a clipper or whatever, but at the same time, it's like they break really easily and they're very dry. And my skin has been really dry. He mentioned that, he started mentioning things like skin dryness and things like that. I was like, yeah, I had that. And he asked me where it was, and I showed him like the back of my neck and that kind of stuff, the hairline and stuff. I said, yeah, that's it. It looks like this could be definite type of thing here. There's no blood tests or anything you take. It's like,
it's very much of a symptom.
Yeah, symptomatic.
Kind of like fibro is.
Yeah, it's a. He didn't want to give me fibromyalgia as a diagnosis unless it was pretty definitive, because he said once you give, especially a woman, but anybody, fibromyalgia as a definite diagnosis, whenever you go in for something, the first thing they're going to say is fibromyalgia. Even if you're showing appendicitis or something, they're going to say fibromyalgia first. So he didn't want to saddle me with that. And as it turned out, that's not what he thinks it is. He says I have aspects of it, and some of it may become that, but right now it's not. It's this other thing that I can't pronounce.
Spondyloarthritis.
So
Arthritis.
But I haven't had a chance to look at it but once.
And like I said, you can also do the easier form, which is psoriatic arthritis,
which has to do with psoriasis and all this kind of stuff. And it's, it explains stuff with my breathing issues and some of the tightness across my chest, because my heart is fine, my lungs are fine, all that kind of stuff. So, except for that little tiny mitral valve prolapse, everything is fine. So that explains a lot, and that's helpful. It's nice to know, even though right now nothing really changes.
I have a feeling you're going to go on the medicine.
I hope not. I don't want more medicine.
You have one.
I don't want more medicine.
And you might be able to take a break from it if you're on this other one.
That's true. That's true.
She's like, I don't want more medicine.
I don't care.
Don't talk to me.
I can talk all I want.
Don't talk to me.
Just because you're an overachiever with medicine doesn't mean I want to be.
You want to look at my pharmacy?
I don't care about your pharmacy. I don't want a pharmacy.
2's not a pharmacy.
I don't want one. Daddy would say I'm already on 2 with Claritin.
Claritin's nothing.
I know. Okay, so that's all we have to say about that. What else?
Bye.
Yeah, my husband just came home because we're podcasting in the afternoon.
Because I was out.
Because she was out and I didn't feel like waking her up. So we want to thank you all for joining us for the Fun in the Woman Cave. Please be thinking about the colorway name. So when we put it up for suggestions next week or the week after, you'll be ready. And let's say something else. What else were we going to say? Oh, for the Patreons, don't forget about the live stream on Friday. We want to wish you all we hope you had a very blessed Mother's Day this past week.
Yes.
Those of you who are moms, whatever kind of mom, grandmothers, stepmothers, godmothers, moms, whatever you are. We hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. And we hope to see you back here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 504. And that's a wrap.
Bye.